Well, man, 20, how long were you in the Navy? You said 20, 22 years, 20
Yeah,
years?
cancer bought me an extra a little bit of time. So it's 22 and a half years. Yeah.
20. So what did that not prepare you for when you got out?
Um, so it's the transition, right? And they're working hard. There's still there's a lot of room to improve, but the transition from going from military to civilian is very difficult, and it's
Mm,
documented, and it plays a role in the suicide numbers that we see. Some will report 22 a day. I've seen it somewhere it's much more. So it didn't prepare me for just being you know, having a different identity. You take off the uniform,
mm,
and your purpose changes. So what can I do to be purposeful? And I don't have the identity of an active duty naval officer, right?
right.
I'm now my identity is a retired. It's like I look at a lot. I've seen interviews with like former professional athletes who have a very difficult time when they take off the
Mm,
uniform or they're cut, right? And then nobody wants to re-sign them. There's that uniform, that cloth represents a lot more than just something you throw in the wash and you got to wear to look like everybody else. There's a lot to it, and
yeah. Mm,
so it's being that purpose and identity is something that it takes a lot of inner work and usually can't be taught.
And that's a lot of what you do with your coaching.
It is, yeah. So my personal experience, right? It's unique because I'm being treated at a military hospital,
Mm,
military treatment facility at Walter Reed, and a lot of the patients there are active duty. They're young, they're under 40, and that's the AYA, adolescent and young adults.
mm,
I was always frustrated because I was just a little bit above that. I was diagnosed at 45, so I was right at that line where they consider that very early, but that's like the where you want to start getting your scans.
mm.
And but a lot of those patients there, they don't live around here. I've got a close friend, stage 4 cancer, just had Tom keep kicking ass, but he just had a liver transplant, and
Oh man.
he was in Iraq, in the shit, and it was out jogging and totally healthy, and things were just not. His body wasn't doing the normal body functions. So fast forward, he gets gets airlifted to Germany, gets his large intestine removed, and then he's flown to Walter Reed, and now he lives in a apartment on base in Walter Reed, getting treated, chemotherapy, pretty intense.
Yeah.
So his whole life was just completely flipped. And I've met a lot of other patients there. They don't get to go home and chill out in
Right.
between treatments. So it's nothing really prepares you for that.
Yeah, I don't see how it could. Yeah, that's rough. Well, so you sound like a really resilient MFer.